John Wick 3. Before I introduce everybody that's coming on the show, let me tell you why I love this franchise. I love this franchise because there's very few people I consider to be a idol of mine. Very few people I look up to, but I look up to John Wick, not because he's out here killing mofos left and right, not because he knows how to fight so wickedly, not because he looks cool doing it. It's because this man's cardio is better than anybody has I ever seen. Let's go ahead and start that show.
You expect him to make it out? A $14 million bounty on his head. Everyone in the city wants a piece of it. I say the odds are about even. Doc, 5 seconds.
John Wick, excommunicado in effect in 3,
2,
1.
And away we go.
Man, we do a lot of franchises, and I feel like the last few ones we did had at least 8 movies. So when we at the halfway mark, there's only been 2, and now we're at the third. Man, it brings a lot of things to perspective, and I can't wait for John Wick 4 next week because I have yet to see John Wick 4, so I have to see it this weekend. But ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about John Wick 3, and I'm not here by myself to discuss John Wick 3. I have 3 other guests with me. Let's bring them out left to right. We're going to start off with none other than Mr. Mike Knox. What's going on?
Good evening.
That was so dry. Let's go ahead and bring in What's up, Usher?
It's pronounced yeah. You have to have seen the movie. Thank goodness I'm on the show with corpses who are reacting to everything. The energy is the same as it was in Star Trek Beyond. Anyway, I
think the energy is the same as Keanu Reeves acting, but sure, whatever you want to say.
This is John Wick 3, and my name is Yeah. That's how you pronounce it. Okay.
I can't pronounce it like that. I'm sorry.
All right. Well, anyway, don't destroy the magic. The point is, this movie is probably one of my favorites of all time. More on that later. How am I doing to answer your question? Fantastic.
All right. See, Superior, what's going on?
Hi, everybody.
Hold on. I don't know why that happened. How did C the Superior get a round of applause, but not the executive consultant?
Because I'm the queen of recasting. That's why.
Oh, well, somebody voted not to do those anymore. So
it seems like we already got into quotables. So yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, let's go. Let's talk about this movie. Let's go right into it, Mr. Knox. What do you have to say for yourself?
Like you said, Keanu Reeves acting. When you're watching things, you kind of this is where we live today. You compare stuff, and I'm sitting here watching John Wick 3 with my wife, and I'm like, I think I like John Wick better than Neo. Neo didn't age well to me. Then she looked at me and she said, it's the same guy. I said, point. Well taken. What makes John Wick is not Keanu Reeves. It's not his acting. It's not the story. It's 100% the director. And the directing in this movie makes this movie a beauty to look at. The action, I remember when I first watched John Wick 1, you guys reviewed 1 and 2, and it just picks right back up. And I said it when I watched the first one. Here I am on the third one. Can't wait for 4 next week. And it's like the greatest video game movie that's not a video game movie that I've ever seen. Like if you ever play or watch these kids play like these shoot 'em up games, he's just killing these people. And then to open up this movie with him killing my former Philadelphia 76ers, what is it, Bodion Morgan? He killed that man and broke that man's neck with a book. Okay.
That's who that big tall man was?
Yeah, you ever see the commercial that does the State Farm person says he dribbles. He dribbles.
No, but I figured he must be somebody because the acting wasn't up to par. And I was like, hold on, he must be
somebody. He does a lot of commercials now, whether it's the with the little nuts. Well, he does a lot of commercials. But anywho, this movie is just amazing action from top to bottom. and leaves us wanting more. And that's what John Wick 2 did. That's what John Wick 3 has done for us as well. So,
Speaking of, looking like a video game, was this a graphic novel before it was a movie? Because it does have like that vibe. I don't know.
I don't believe so. None that I'm aware of.
So there was no pre-existing property. It was just straight to movies.
Straight. Just like it was written just for Keanu Reeves.
What in this day and age?
I agree with you, but you know what? That's some research. Typically, down there has more of that knowledge of that. I don't have anything like that, but I think this movie was just made, and Keanu says, "I'll do it."
Wow. Rest
The
refreshing.
director was worked with Keanu on The Matrix. He was one of the stunt team or the stunt coordinator. I can't remember which. And way back when, during the making of, I think, the sequels of those films, he said to Keanu, because he told him that he wanted to start making films, and Keanu said, if you ever direct a film, let me know. I'll be in it. And so he ended up writing this story, John Wick, about a retired hitman or assassin. And he called up Keanu and says, hey, does that still apply? And he says, sure. And that's how they made the film. So there's no pre-existing tying-in work or anything like that.
Well, the director didn't write the story. I'm confused. Did I miss something? Because the director didn't write the story.
Huh?
The director didn't write the story. So I was asking, was I confused or something that I missed?
I think he said he came up with it.
Oh, okay.
But you know what? With that being said, I feel like they're missing an opportunity of expanding it to a graphic novel or a video game or something, because there's definitely some crossover here.
Well, they did make a video game.
They did?
Mm-hmm. They did make a video game, because I looked it up to see if they had it, because I feel like this video game would be perfect. And Mr. Knox said it best. That this movie kind of reminds you of a video game. It also reminded me of a franchise, not franchise. It was a Amazon pick that we did. I think E-Boogie picked it. It was a video game movie, so to speak, where it was Play Again or something. I can't remember. But
the guy from The Purge?
Possibly. But
Purge
check it out on our UPRE on our YouTube. But there is a John Wick game. I think it came out in 2019.
No, it's not. It comes out. It's in development for PS5. It's not a John Wick video game out.
Oh, okay. Well,
I'm pretty sure about that. I'm a gamer. I game every day.
Right.
There's no John Wick video game.
I agree.
It is in production, though.
Chris,
it's like Matrix.
Right. So I'm pretty sure there is a John Wick video game.
I'm guaranteeing you that I'm looking at it currently.
Okay.
And it's
so we're reviewing John Wick 3. I'd like to know what people's thoughts are on this movie.
Well, I'll go. I have a couple thoughts. Now, for me, right, it was always a toss-up between, which movie in the franchise was the best? Which one was better, right? And for me, it was always between 2 and 3. I'm rewatching it today.
3 wins.
Really? See, I might be the odd person out, but I'll save that for my final thoughts. But I will say this one kept up with the momentum. It's pretty much straight into the story, which is something that is they continue throughout the franchise, even though it's been like almost 10 years it's been going on. Each movie is kind of like almost right after the next. And when you get into John Wick 3, it's kind of like more of the universe gets unraveled, like more of it gets revealed. And it's more, they really show how expansive and how huge this secret society is, because it's in the Middle East somewhere. It's in New York. It's over here. It's over there. It's a global.
It's a global assassins community.
Yeah. So I like that they had that expansion, and as I mentioned in my short when I was talking about John Wick 4, I love the glamour of this movie. And believe it or not, there's definitely some like James Bond-esque glamour going on in this movie that I appreciate. I wonder if he was the writer or director was a little bit inspired by James Bond when he wrote this. But it definitely has that kind of villain glamour vibe that I like. But yeah, nice to see Halle Berry in here playing herself.
The crackhead or the slut? Which one?
Oh Lord! Well, she's
which one is Miss Berry playing here?
The variant.
He definitely was playing a version of Halle Berry, but hey, she was bouncing off a version of Keanu Reeves, right? Because Keanu Reeves plays everything under the sun.
Hey, he had
Yeah.
deaf and and what was it? God, what's the movie? The silly movie with the blonde,
Bill and Ted.
Bill and Ted. He was excellent. It was totally different, and no one counts that game. That's like one of them like telltale games.
It's a video game.
It's a telltale game. That's
It's a
all I'm saying.
video
Like,
game.
it
Hold on,
is.
Telltale had some really good Walking Dead games.
They
Don't play
did,
with Telltale.
but- See,
Oh no! Oh,
American
no.
Dream Real Estate. You
There's
should be
a
ashamed of
little
yourself.
misogynoir going on here, and I do not appreciate it. She was very much a capable assassin. Her and her dogs.
best scenes in the movie. Listen, when that dog comes out of nowhere, like the director in this movie makes this movie shine. And those scenes with her and that dog were amazing. It really was.
You know what? Best stuff, worst stuff used to be a segment. But I will say my best of scene is the horse legs kicking them dudes in the face. I love those scenes because it was so unexpected and so graphic. And so the only thing that might have been more graphic was the guy getting his knife stuck in his eye. But besides that, it was. I was so excited. I was so excited. John, look at C's getting excited on there. She's
no, I forgot to mention Morticia. How can I forget?
Morticia before
Morticia.
That's who the lady. Yeah, the hands.
Yes,
yeah.
Great to see her. Always in these really. I love when I see her in film because usually her roles are very empowered. She's always like the empowered woman, be it via in her soft feminine energy or otherwise. Love seeing her in this movie.
It was interesting to see her. It was interesting to see. Oh darn, that was some Star Trek Beyond.
Lance Sullivan, may he rest in peace. I've been rewatching The Wire. Most people know him from this series, which is annoying to me if you only know him from John Wick and not knowing him from his other work. But his work is always stellar in this movie as well. What's the name?
Morticia.
No, not Morticia.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. You were saying known for one their work. Okay.
Yeah, their work.
Get out of here. Here we go. Let the lady shine, please.
Oh shit, that was her.
Yes.
Yeah. What you got? I'm sorry. Yeah. I had
you got a lot. Yeah, it's yeah.
I think a lot of people said it. I'm going to piggyback something that Chrissy said. This third movie, as we go on progressively, we get more immersed into the world. I said in the second movie when we did John Wick 2 that it's like we have a foot in our world and a foot in their world, right? In this one, we've completely crossed over, right? We've gone into the screen. We've gone behind the lens. We're in John Wick's world. We're no longer in a world that exists for us, right? And we're firmly there. And I think something that keys into that, beyond the fact that, they're doing people are spanking horses, people are getting their face kicked in. You would love to see that. He's on a horse and he's shooting people, you know what I mean, in the face while they're on a motorcycle. They're coming into the Continental and they have the whole armory, which we've seen set up. And we're wondering, do they ever use this? Does anybody ever try and get in there? And they're taking on the adjudicators and the high table themselves. Winston is in the back and he's sipping on his drink. He's debonair. He's out of that world anymore. He's always 3 steps ahead. John and Sharon, they're going through and they're just handling business. All right. But let me highlight Zero. Zero is the audience, us, absolutely, and also his character. He loves every bit of screen time he's in. He is absolutely delighting in this world. He's a fan of John Wick. I love your work. And yet when it's time to throw down with John, he's as skilled as John. And we, the audience, don't know. I like the fact that John is tired throughout all these movies. In most films like this or this ilk, you're going to have the protagonist and they're to Chris's point about the cardio, they're running 20 New York blocks and nobody's out of breath. Nobody takes blood in their mouth. You know what I mean? Now, other than them not getting shot in their hands when they're blocking it with their bulletproof vests and everything like that. All right. He's out of breath. He's hurt. He's cut up. He's lacerated. He feels it. He earns all those kills. When he goes up against the 2 brothers at the end of the movie, and I mean brothers in the sense of the film, not brothers because, of how we look right now on the show tonight, but they let him get up because they respect him. He's earned that respect. And they say, we want you as best as can be at your fullest potential. And they let him get up off the ground. They talk about how he's gotten older. There was a time when he would have been this fast. You could say if we're going to go into another franchise, he's like Batman when we see The Dark Knight Returns, right? He's a lot slower than he was at the time. And you say to yourself, damn, if he's this good now, he had to be the boogeyman. There's a reason why they call him the boogeyman. There's a reason why in part 2, they said, if anybody can get to my sister who's just been inducted into the, or is about to be inducted into the high table, it can only be the boogeyman. There's a reason why the big bad of the first film said, he kissed his son and he says, you're already dead. But because I'm your father, I have to do everything within my power to save you. There's a reason why in the beginning of the second one, the brother, he just sits there and he's telling the story. He's spreading the word, the tale of the Baba Yaga to this guy, right? And so it's amazing when you, I don't want to spoil part 4 because I know Chris hasn't seen it. I don't know who else hasn't seen it, but there's a reason why there's a reason why certain things happen and why people treat him the way he's earned it the hard way. And I absolutely loved it. Also, let me just say this, and I think Chrissy brought this up, how they're going to Morocco, I think it was, where Halle Berry's character was. And really in the spoiler alert, but we see even more of the world in the 4th film, right? That's all I'll say about that. But I love the different accents in this movie. I love that Sharon has an accent that's different from Winston. John has an accent that's different from forgive me, I'm forgetting Lawrence Fishburne's character, but the King, right? They all have
The Bowery King.
The Bowery King, thank you. The Adjudicator has a different accent. Sharon has a different Zero has a different accent rather. And so you know that there's a larger world. We just haven't seen it. Why? Because that's not what this story is about. And to Chrissy's point, even though they come out a couple of years spate in between, it literally picks up for us, the audience, and we're so invested in this world and what they've done. We were talking about the acting and everything like that, but they must be doing something right because it's not just punchy, run. We're so invested in these characters that we suspend disbelief, and it's right after he left Central Park, right? Mm-hmm. It's right after he comes home in the first one, right? So we want, and then we're thinking to ourselves, are we going to see this person that we saw? I'm still wondering, is Common coming back? Are we going to see his character? You know what I mean? Because he essentially did the same thing to him that he did to the Bowery King, right? That we learn about in part 2. So, I don't think that people really watch this movie. I know we're having our fun and everything, but nobody's watching this movie because we think it's going to be nominated for Best Actor, Best Supporting Actor. And that's not to say that the acting is bad, because we couldn't do what they did. That's why they're in this movie and we're not, right?
Yeah.
I don't know about that. I can do what they do. They just known. They got better pretty. Maybe somebody called them prettier than me, but I can act the way they were acting in this movie with all due respect.
And doing the stunts too?
Okay,
no,
so
they don't do the stunts.
In my time, let me
Keanu
just
Reeves
say,
does a lot of stunts.
Yeah, but we got Keanu Reeves and we
Can I
got
finish?
Tom Cruises. Other than
Can I
that, everybody else got stunt triples.
Can I finish? So I don't think that we can do what they do. That's why they're in this movie, right? And I think it'd be easy for us to say that we can do that, right? The same way it will be, it's easy for us to do XYZ job or profession until we actually get in it. There are many different facets, right? So I think that they must be doing something right, to that point that I made earlier, because we, the 4 of us, as well as the millions of people who have seen these films all over the world, are so invested in these characters. If it's just somebody saying to be or not to be, nobody's making that a global success.
Captain Kirk. That's what it sounds
Okay.
like.
So nobody's making that a global success. So they are doing something right. And again, this is an action flick. When I see another franchise, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, somebody said to me, the one that came out on Netflix that they did last year, when they said, it was too graphic, it was too much blood. And I said to myself, well, it's called Texas Chainsaw Massacre. What do I want to see? A massacre in Texas. And I want to see blood. And I want to see the chainsaw. Did the movie give it to me? Yeah. I don't care if he's going to win the Oscar. I don't care if the Golden Globes are going to come and nominate him by the Associated Press. I don't give a damn if the SAG Awards nominates him. Did he do what he's supposed to do? Did John Wick handle business? Did he shove a book into somebody's mouth and then keep shoving it until he dislocated their jaw? Did he get patched up by the keymaker? Did I get the Bowery King back? Is Winston the man? Did he have an alternative plan that he had the whole movie that he set up? Spoiler alert, again, I'm not going to go into that. But if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about, right? Do we see more of Sharon? Do we see more of the world, right? Halle Berry's there. Is she just going to be standing around saying, I'm Catwoman, or this is Monsters Ball? No. She's an assassin. She's a manager. She's a former assassin. We see the same, I forget the name of the thing, where she had a blood oath to John, the same way he had in part 2. It's continuing the mythology of the film, right? Did she look believable doing the things she did with the dogs? Yes. That's all I care about. So I'm not going to disparage that. I'm going to pull back on that because, again, this is not what we see these movies for, right? The same way when y'all did, so whoever saw the Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
If y'all are thinking about who's going to win the BAFTA when you're watching Super Mario Brothers, something's not right. Just enjoy the movie for what it's supposed to be. That's just my opinion, though.
All right.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, find out what reviewing coming up as well as other things that we're doing here on Unpopular Review. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Previously on Perfect Plex.
Triple H is in charge of creative. Now, as I make myself a little bit bigger here because I got a big head. Shout out to big heads. Vinny Chase, big head. But as I digress and I get myself together, listen, fans, you thought Vince was back in control because Brock Lesnar beat the living shit out of Cody Rhodes on Raw after Mania? Which personally I think is one of the top 5 Raw after Mania moments. If you missed last week's top 5, make sure you go back and check out top 5 on Pop Thursday at 8 to 8:30. To be confused with Tony Coke Khan, by the way. Okay, I'm sorry, Tony. It's the truth. Okay, we love you. For this, where's that idiot? Put that picture back on the wall for me, please. For this idiot, Busby 18, and this moron, Scott Harris, what do you mean? She needs to separate her reality. No, you need to separate your reality. All we do is talk about as wrestling fans how much we love Rhea Ripley. This moron led her to get so upset. She responded to the idiot. People like this make me regret leaving everyone I love behind. I've lived for years without people I love to entertain and live my dream. And you're a fucking disgusting human. She said this. She's not innocent. Everybody's not MJF, who 100% of the time is 100% in character. I'm not blaming her for this tweet. You as wrestling fans need to understand something, people. And I'm going to say this with all due respect to anybody I've ever come across with in this business, because in so many words, it's not. But people, it's not real to me, damn it! It's not real to me!
Please, baby, please, baby, please, baby, 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 please. No, check this out. Nola was something special. She had this amazing effect on men. I was the best thing that ever happened to Nola, darling. Ask her, she'll tell you that herself. Why, she worshipped me.
I've never seen anybody who like to look at themselves more than you do. Don't you ever get tired?
Never happened, baby. So you bugging out, right? You're gonna go? You're gonna go? You're gonna go? You're gonna go?
This hit goes out to you, Mr. Wick.
Challenge you to single combat.
If you win, you'll have your freedom.
And when I see you, I'ma take what I want, so.
Amen.
The only way John Wick will ever have freedom and peace is in death.
Yeah, not really. And so it begins.
So that is John Wick 4, and I heard him say yeah at the end, and you know what? Yeah, I have to say you are right. I can't. Like, that's exactly how
You got a little rasping.
Yeah, we Jonah Hex. I don't know. But we are reviewing John Wick 3 today. John Wick 4, of course, will be next Tuesday. Is the last of this John Wick franchise for us here at UPRE, and of course this Thursday, continue our Spike Lima with She's Gotta Have It, a movie I've never seen before, and I'm going to have to be on the episode, so I have to see it now. But that's fine. Let's talk about some John Wick 3, and let's talk about our final thoughts as well as thumbs up, thumbs down. And we're going to start off with the hardcore man himself, Mr. Mike Knox.
What can I say? Yeah, you don't go into this movie looking for a literary masterpiece. However, I am a journalist and I'm a critic. And criticizing this movie on his acting, I can do because I have acted before. And so I can criticize the flatness of the acting. But again, I don't think you can go see this movie for his acting. You see this movie for the action, the ass kicking, and the continuing of the mythology that has been going internally in the story. So, like 1, like 2, can't wait to see 4 because I myself have not seen 4. I thought 3 so far was the best in the trilogy. I've heard wonderful things about 4, so I can't wait to see 4. I haven't seen a bad movie yet from this trilogy, so I can't give this one a thumbs down also. So for me, thumbs up. Go watch it again. Replay appeal. You can do whatever you want to, what do you say? Good time, no alcohol required. Good time, alcohol required. Watch it on a Sunday because you don't like football required. This is a good kind of film to go watch. Sit back and just enjoy a good, nice action film. So thumbs up for me.
All right, I'm not even going to butcher your name, but you know who you are down there. Go ahead. Thumbs up, thumbs down.
I see that's you he's talking about. No, listen, this movie did everything I wanted it to do. Again, no spoilers for the 4th one because I know 2 of the 4. I don't know, Chris, have you seen 4?
I saw it.
Okay, so 2 of us haven't seen it in this setup right now, but the 3rd one was my favorite. And to Chris's point, the 2nd one, like each time another movie comes out, it outdoes it. I'm not going to say it outshines it because that's a different connotation in my book, but it outdoes it to me, and I'm like, damn, I've never seen anything like that. And I think, gentlemen, you will be pleased beyond, okay, and well worth the money when you see part 4. But this was my favorite, and arguably it still holds up. It's not inferior in any way. Just that Continental Siege alone is phenomenal. It is phenomenal with the music playing and everything like that, to the culmination, not just with Zero, but on the rooftop with the adjudicator, Winston, and John himself. And Sharon is there as well. It can't be anything but a thumbs up. Movie fantastic.
All right. So for me, one thing that I really like about the John Wick movies is that they do treat their female characters with a lot of respect. You always see the women as capable and, in positions of power, which didn't come about in the James Bond film for many, many years. So there is that difference. Again, I said at the beginning that it's always a toss-up between which one is my favorite, the 2nd one or the 3rd one. And I personally enjoy the 2nd one more. The 3rd one, somewhere close to, I want to say midway through the movie, it starts to drag a little bit for me. And it picks back up at the Continental Invasion. That's when it picks back up for me. But with that being said, it's still a very enjoyable movie. It's still a very good movie. I love the violence. Like I said before, I'm here for the movie violence. And yeah, it definitely it gave you more of the story, gave you more of what you came to see. And I'm going to give it a thumbs up. But I have a gripe about
I'm just curious. Don't say why if it's true, but is 4 better than 2 for you?
I honestly, I would have to see 4 again. I would have to watch it again because I have this thing where I see a new movie and I'm like, okay, yeah, this is the best one. This is the best one. So I need time to even though I have watched it once, I'll probably want to see it just a second time just to be
It's
sure.
definitely worth watching a couple of times. I'll say that. Yeah.
The end of beginning and numero uno, the chances of winning. I do it again. Follow no other, I'm setting these trends, consulting.
Muted as you should be with that damn intro.
Whatever. I had to bring it back. Let me tell you my gripe. It is not even John Wick 4. But I was supposed to see John Wick 4, right? But unfortunately, somebody could have waited a freaking day for me to get into town before going to see it. Okay.
First of all, you can't just come into town all willy-nilly and think everybody's going to change their plans just because you decide you want to come back in town.
I have been doing that for years, and okay. I was so upset, right? I know the last movie I saw was actually we saw a Knock at the Cabin. Look out for that on Unpopular Views.
Yeah,
as we were
Knock at the Cabin.
Yeah, didn't we see that?
You were there.
You said we were there.
Oh yeah, I'm thinking it's a
Batista movie.
Oh my God, he was there. We said, "Hey, we're going to review it," and then he never shows up. But
no, listen, that was all work. That was work.
Okay. At least you ain't just like you said, "F you." I'm not waiting a day. All right, so this movie, right? This franchise is a very unique franchise for me, and this is why I will say that. It's the only franchise that I can think of off the top of my head, even though it's only been 4 movies now, right? But there's 3 where I've enjoyed every single one of these movies thoroughly. Y'all said this is my favorite. This is my favorite. I can't tell you which is my favorite. There's some things I like better about 3. There's some things I like better about 2. There's some things I like better about 1. Right? So I have a hard time picking which one. But I like how they added different nuance into it in order for me to still enjoy it just as much as I enjoyed the first 2. Shout out to Mike Knox. We were talking a little bit earlier this week, and we were talking about our favorite Spider-Man film, and I said Spider-Man 2 is honestly my favorite Spider-Man film. However, and I had this conversation. Sorry, don't beat me up. Don't shove a book in my mouth. But we had this conversation plenty of times where, depending on the day of the week, I might say Spider-Man 1 is my favorite. I might say Spider-Man 1 is more enjoyable to me than Spider-Man 2 because I enjoy Spider-Man 1 that much. That's how I feel about John Wick 3, John Wick 2, and John Wick 1. Today, I'll probably still say John Wick 1 is my favorite, but any day of the week, it can be John Wick 2 and John Wick 3. I like John Wick 1 because it was the original, and he's not the boogeyman. He's the man you send to kill the boogeyman. And just like I said in the first one, it is the name that's important to me. I'm very particular about my name. As everybody knows, I say Chris. John Wick. When you say John Wick, that instills emotions and that instills respect in the people's hearts and brain. You should always have that as a person who respects yourself. It's your name that gives you credit. C, the Superior. It's in her YouTube channel, right? James changed his name so many times. I can't say anything about that. But Mike Knox, he will tell you himself before anybody. 15 years he's been doing it. He's been doing the game because his name precedes him. I'm just Chris. End of that. Ladies and gentlemen, this gets a thumbs up for me. Next week is the end of John Wick franchise. Join us this Thursday. She's got to have it. Join us tomorrow. Not tomorrow. What day is it? See,
it's Tuesday.
Today's Tuesday. The
No. Gotham Knights.
Gotham Knights is tomorrow night at 9:00. We're going to be talking about the newest episode. I want to say episode 6 of Gotham Knights. Join us then.
No, that says episode 1. Nobody updates this. But Gotham Knights, yeah, join them for Gotham Knights for that. And the challenge will be coming back soon. Am I right, Mike Knox?
Sure, yeah. Next month.
All right. It's coming out soon, right? Stay tuned. What's up? What's up, James?
No, I was about to say, because I saw a advertisement for Singing in the Rain. So
that came and gone.
No, I just saw it on the Star Trek Beyond episode.
Yeah, I hope you didn't play it new. I hope.
I will see. We will all see you next time. For Mike Knox from C Superior, I'm and you all have a good night. Somebody.
Oh
Lord.
Somebody play the outro. I lost my mouse. There you go.
Hold on. Now I got to close the screen.
I got.